So we are at that stage in the market. We have been waiting for the last 2-3 months for us to finally get a bit of direction in the Bitcoin dominance and to sort of give us direction at which way is the market going to flow for us. And luckily, about 2-3 days ago, we finally got that direction, and Bitcoin dominance has dropped the major supports. We've been speaking about these supports for the last 2 weeks, and we finally dropped the first major support, was at the 60% sort of mark, and we collapsed that completely. And it just shows you that we have been sitting trying to make a decision for the last few months, as well for the last few weeks. And now that the decision has finally been made, we can see how strong the direction starts to flow in that way. So now is the time for us to be really taking massive control of our trading sort of knowledge, understanding where we are in the market, how to capitalize, where should we be putting money, where should everything sort of be categorized, and where should all be sitting. Should we be in Bitcoin? Should we be in dominance? It's now time for us to get a good understanding and for us to ride the bull run of our lives, make the very large amounts of money in a quick amount of time. And now for the first time, we are going to be the ones fighting to see where do we take profits, how much is enough. We are going to make a lot of money together, and we're going to build a massive community together, and we are going to help each other. For the last few months, it's been helping to protect money. Now we're going to make the money, and where do we sell? So welcome to Banter. I'm Sheldon the Sniper. I come to you guys every single day with TA. Rand comes to you every day with fundamentals, and together we are forming the biggest crypto community that will ever exist. I think we are going to go massive. We are bringing fundamentals, TA, and we are bringing the perfect solution together to create the strongest community for all of us. So firstly, what I do want to say, guys, is hit that like, hit the subscribe button, follow us on Twitter, follow myself, Sheldon_Sniper, follow Rand on Twitter, follow Crypto Banter on Twitter, and not only is that going to give you these videos every day, and it's going to help you ride this bull market and ride everything, it's also going to give you guys a big opportunity to be a part of the Banter bags, which is I'd probably say it's the biggest giveaway that is on YouTube. What basically happened was they put $10,000 into these pre-allocated bags of these different coins, that when we have hit 250,000 subscribers, we are going to give that out to the public. I think it's just over $500,000, which is huge, guys. So this is a big opportunity for everyone else, not just to learn every day, also obviously to be a big part of the Banter bags, and just for us to join this community. You know, the education, I believe, is very important for us to be learning at the specific point. We need to understand why we are buying, why we are selling, because this isn't just a skill for me. It's a skill that you can run for the rest of your lives. So what we are going to focus on today is, let's go through dominance, let's go through Bitcoin, a quick overview of Ethereum. Then what I'm going to do today, guys, is I'm going to go through a nice little portfolio structure system for you guys to understand that what should be in Bitcoin, what should we be hodling, and how much of our portfolio should we be trading, and what to do when we make this money and how we categorize it. So I'm going to be giving you guys a nice bit of structure today to categorize everything, so that you sort of have a nice flow with trading and understand what to do when anything basically happens or anything drastically happens in the market. You are going to understand what to do. So today is all about building that. Rand has now gone away for a while. He's not for a while, guys, I'm joking. He will be back tomorrow, but he's gone fishing for new ideas, fishing for new coins, and we know Rand's going to come back strong and give us some brilliant fundamental coins, and I'll be here to chart them. So let's get going with everything, guys. Let's get started with everything. And the first thing that I'm going to get back into now is the Bitcoin dominance, just to show you guys how strongly we are actually rallying downwards. We are now really starting to get strong momentum to the downward side, which is good. If we have a look, guys, that is really showing us a critical stage in the market, that we are really getting the support from Bitcoin now into the altcoins, which means it's altcoin time. It's time for us to be getting into those altcoins and also understanding the fact that the dominance dominance is dropping, it means the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. So either we are making dollars and we're making good amounts of money on these trades, but we are also making Bitcoin at the same time. And I think that's brilliant for us to know that we don't have to continually put more money into buy Bitcoin. Just by being in specific coins, we are actually making Bitcoin. And what's going to happen is when we do get a reverse in the dominance, which we are, guys, so we do have these strong impulses, the strong waves down, but then we do have correction waves as well. So as you can see here, previously what's happened is we've strong wave down and a push up, strong wave down and a push up. So we are going to have some sort of bounce points. And if I do have a look at the 8-hour candle, this does look like we might get a sort of bounce point. And this might just be now to get Bitcoin to the higher sort of level. Remember what we've been talking about in this market is the ultimate dream will be if Bitcoin can break all-time high, it can skyrocket, and that dominance can keep falling. That means it's the ultimate dream for where we're actually looking with dominance. Fred, as much as it is technical wise, if Fred can just play a video that Rand did speak about last week, just on Bitcoin dominance and what was said last week.
And that's the second cycle. The first cycle is the mass adoption of Bitcoin, and the second cycle is the altcoin cycle, which I've just showed you fundamentally with data that we are hitting an altcoin cycle. And this is going to be the biggest altcoin cycle of our lives. And I'm not the only one that says.
And there we can see. So not only is the chart giving us these sort of directions, the fundamentals are giving the sort of direction as well. So it's lovely when everything starts to make sense and it all starts to pull together. So dominance is looking good, guys. What we are expecting, a small little retracement upwards. Maybe that's going to take Bitcoin where we need it to, get it back to the $60,000 range. But remember, ultimately, what we are still expecting after this is for Bitcoin to make its way down all the way back to the 52% sort of region, which is still, I think it's a little bit more now. Let's have a look. It's still 9% away from where we're sitting right now. So we've seen what this little wave has done already. It's made a lot of the altcoins explode. We've had Etherum break all-time high. We've had a lot of the altcoins that are really doing massive gains. We can actually have a look at that quickly to see how things are going. You can see here, I just see we're on the, there we go, for the day. So go have a look and see what these coins are doing on the daily basis at the moment. And this is because we have the backing of the dominance, which is brilliant. So we are looking good. We are still looking strong. There might be a small correction wave. So if I make this a bit bigger so all can see, a small correction wave up. But ideally, I'm still expecting us to drop to this zone. Just remember that if we drop that next zone, we then have the main one, which we would love to see, which is the 43% mark. And if we have a look from where we are now, it's approximately 22% in dominance, which means billions and billions of dollars will be put into the alts. And, you know, there's a lot of coins are only sitting on a couple billion, 1-2 billion. There's a lot of good alts that are out there. And just by having so much money being diversified now, we're going to see insane gains in the markets. So the Bitcoin dominance is looking really good, and we are on track for now. There will probably be a small retracement. I'm actually going to leave this drawing in here, and let's see what happens by tomorrow. Let's see how that plays out, and we will then have a look at dominance again tomorrow. So if we look quickly at Ethereum, where we're looking with at Ethereum, the first point was obviously the high that we broke that previous high. Let's just see it. Let's make it there. There we go. Cool. So we basically got a higher high, which is a good sign. And all we're doing now is coming to test that main trend, which is good. So now that we can see, now we've sort of reversed. Remember now 2 weeks ago that when Bitcoin was dumping, the dominance was dumping with it, which means that the alts were getting destroyed, but they weren't getting too destroyed. So when we must understand that when we get into this market, it starts to become a very volatile market, and it starts to get quite violent, if I could say. And what started to happen now is it's basically reversed, where previously when Bitcoin dropped, dominance would fall with it and protect the alts. Now when Bitcoin drops, dominance is going up, which means the alts are getting hurt at those certain points. Now, this is happening on smaller sort of retraces and smaller up and down sort of cycles, but we need to always be aware of that if Bitcoin decides to go to 50,000 at any point, that dominance is going to go up. Because we have cycled because we've pushed so far down, if anything happens to Bitcoin and Bitcoin retraces very quick, that dominance is going to shoot up quickly, which means the alts are going to get hurt. It means the alts are going to lose that 10. When Bitcoin's losing 5%, the alts are losing 10% or 12%. So we still got to understand that we are looking good. But remember what I did say with Bitcoin earlier. We still need to just make sure that Bitcoin is still healthy in that section. Now, having a look at Bitcoin, so Ethereum is looking good as coming down for midterm sort of retracement, which is good. Now, what is happening with Bitcoin is we are in this sort of sideways phase. And this is exactly what I want to see for the next week to 2 weeks. I'd love to see this for at least, like I said, a week or two from now, even longer. If we can have this for a month, that's good. The main thing is we want Bitcoin to be slowing down, running in the sideways channel, so that there's no, what can I call it? Being scared in the market. There's no one really panicking in the market. If Bitcoin's fine, the market's settling, they're good. If they're happy if Bitcoin's running sideways, which means alts, buy the alts. We just don't want Bitcoin to drop key levels. So what I am expecting from Bitcoin is still for us to basically run in the sideways momentum for the next at least week or two, run in the zone. And obviously, once we break the all-time high, is that going to take away a bit of dominance? We're going to see as that works, but obviously the ultimate dream is dominance can keep falling. Now, we don't want Bitcoin to grow too quickly just yet. The alt, especially in this alt market, we don't want it to just smash it at all-time high. If it does, it can take a lot of money back from the alts, and that dominance can then retrace back upwards. So this is looking really good. So with Bitcoin, and what I would say is danger zones for Bitcoin is if we come anywhere near the 54,000, the 53,000, we don't actually want to come too low. We don't want to come back into this sort of pennant zone over here. So at any point, yes, it can retrace. What I'm sort of seeing is that we're going to be hovering between $55,000 to $60,000 for the next 2 weeks. 2 to 3, we'll see as we move, but Bitcoin's looking good. So I'd probably say still, even from when we got the buy at $50,000 for Bitcoin, between 50,000 and 52, I'd still say 50,000 is a good support. So remember that even though we trade in the alts, this is still the coin that I have my focus on. This is the king of all coins, and this is the one we need to make sure is always healthy to know that altcoins are still healthy. So Bitcoin is looking really good, dominance is looking good, and our king of alts, Ethereum, is looking really good, and I'm very happy with that higher high. Now, what we're going to be getting into now and sort of structuring now is portfolio. How does this all work? Now, Fred, if you don't mind putting up the portfolio structure for me, the HODL portfolio, actually. So if you can put HODL portfolio up there for me, and I'm going to go through the HODL coins that I am running now currently, and what I'm looking at with hodling sort of section and the percentages that I'm looking at. So with my hodling, we can see that I basically got 25% Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin was higher. I was sitting at 35% Bitcoin. But the fact that now the dominance has dropped and it's turned, for now, I'm accumulating a little bit more of these major alts and the Ethereum that I'm building more. So I'm currently split at least 50% of my portfolio, especially, and that's, I'll explain with all the money that you have, but basically what I'm saying is 50% Bitcoin, 50% Ethereum. I'm then sitting with 35% with my major alts, and I'm then sitting with 15% with my micro alts. Now, we must understand that that is our HODL portfolio. That's what we're not trading. Now, where does the difference come in? Where we're giving signals every day and we're giving these sort of coins that we need to be able to structure both. Now, end of the day, the best way to make money in crypto is to buy the coins at a good rate and hold them. So that's why a bigger percentage will be in our HODL portfolio. So if we have a look at the HODL portfolio over there, we will see that I have at least 65% in my HODL portfolio and 35% in my trading portfolio. Now, that has gotten a lot bigger than what it was previously. Why? Because there's a lot of trading to be done. There's a lot of money to be made in the altcoins. So I've basically looked at, I need an account that I can keep capitalizing, keep building my HODL portfolio. Remember, HODL portfolio, we buy those coins, we don't touch them. We let them run. But now for the new guys that are starting, and especially for the guys that have been trading for a while and haven't had structure, how do we structure and bring this all together? So the first thing you need to do is, if you're a brand new sort of trader, or you're getting new into these sort of things, is you need to see what your starting capital with is. And if it's big enough for you to already go buy your HODL, your long HODL coins, your bigger section, if you are able to, if I could say, if you're sitting with a $100,000 account and you are able to take $65,000 of that out and put that away for 6 months, and it leaves you with the remaining $35,000 to trade on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to make more money for that HODL portfolio, then you're going to start off like that. But if you're brand new and you're starting with a couple $100, or you're starting with $1,000, you can start trading that money straight away, as long as you know that when you make profits off of that money, How do I split it? You got to start building that HODL portfolio up. You got to start building your main. If I could say that's your savings, that's actually your true wealth. Why? Because you're not trading it every day. So you're not putting that money at risk every day. You must only be putting what you're able to risk every day on the daily trades, because all that we are using that trading portfolio for is a tool for me to generate more money and more coins without having to put more physical money in. It's something that I can use to get more Bitcoin, get more Ethereum. So all that I'm basically doing is I'm using that trading portfolio to make me more of my HODL coins, to actually fill up more of the coins that I'm not actually going to trade. So it's important to know that we need to start running this with structure. And with structure, what's nice with that is when we have our 25% in Bitcoin, our 25% in Ethereum, we then got the major alts and we got the micro alts. That also gives me great structure every day when we're giving these trades out and we're giving these things out to say that this is the section that we are countering or that we are focusing on. It starts to give you percentages on how much money should I be putting in these specific coins. And I think that's a big thing for us to break through today, so that we have some structure. As a community, we need to have structure and we need to build this through together. So what I am going to start with is, obviously we got our majors. Let me just get the main HODL one there first. So what is it? It's 25% Ethereum, 25% Bitcoin. Now, like I said, if your account's too small, you need to focus that when you start making profits, you need to buy with whatever profits that you made. You need to go buy 25% of that profits. You need to go buy Ethereum. You need to go buy Bitcoin. And then we got the major alt and other lists, which I'll get to shortly. But you see how you're starting for the first time, you're giving yourself structure, that when I make this money, what do I do with it? So 25% Ethereum, 25% Bitcoin, which is great. We then have our major alts. Now just take this into consideration, guys. This is not, what I mean by this is it's my important alts. These are alts that I really seen. So some of them may be a couple billion market cap. Some of them may be a couple $100 million. But this is my major selection of alts, which I believe is going to give us at least a 50 to 100x in the next year. I believe that these coins together is powerful, especially if we're buying every day and we're using that trading portfolio to stock it up, stock it up, stock it up. Now, remember that when we are making these profits off these previous trades, we are stocking up on these coins at whatever price it is. I'm not jumping then into TA to say that I've made my profits today. Is it a good time to buy Ethereum? You know, if I can consistently buy Ethereum every 3 days off the profits that I make, yes, I'm buying them at different levels, but bigger picture, I'm just accumulating. It doesn't matter when that coin's at $10,000 or $20,000 is when you're going to see the true growth. So it's just about understanding that I need to use these profits and diversify them. So the coins that I've put up here, and what we are doing is we're drawing up a nice selection. The only difference is I have some coins that are coming in and out. Sometimes new ones are getting added to my portfolio. So I'm going to draw this up nicely and get this all set up nicely for the Twitter so that you guys can all print this and have this set up. And everyone's coins are going to be different to each other. Remember that. This is not about who's right and which coins it is. This is a structure for you to adapt on. So what I have here, for example, for my major sort of altcoins is I have Chainlink, I have DOT, I have Uni, I have Theta, I have VET, Neo, ZIL, ADA, Ocean, Litecoin, and EGLD, which is Elrond. Now that is a very important, and reason being as well is with this dominance, I've charted all of these coins, and if I chart them to Bitcoin, it's giving me a very strong signal that we are going to have a lot of Bitcoin backing to a lot of these coins. So I know that ideally, yes, these coins are going to make me a lot of dollars, but they're also going to make me a lot of Bitcoin. Because when the bear market comes or anything comes in the future, I'm not going to be having 35% in major alts anymore. I'm actually going to be shifting all the way back to a lot more of my HODL portfolio sitting in Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just about where we are setting up now. So this is a nice little structure for you guys to see that these are the key coins that I'm looking at major altcoin wise, which means it's 35% of what my portfolio is filled with at the moment. And then what I have is the micro alts. Now, reason why I've done this and to structure this, for the guys that took VTHO, that's taken Pundi, that's taken Win, this is the sort of amount of money in your portfolio that you should be putting into these sort of coins. Okay. Now, with these coins, now, these are smaller cap coins, and these make small amounts of money, bigger amounts of money. So this is a nice way for us that we don't have to overload. Why? Because they're heavy volatile coins. You know, we had Win, which was killing it for the last few days, and it's just come down 27%. Do you see why we are not? Because if you make a mistake, you get crushed. And you're allowed to make mistakes in trading. That's why you need to be careful about where and the specific amounts that you are putting at these specific portfolios. So the coins that I have here, VTHO, TVK, Front. I've seen a lot of comments on, guys, what's happening with TVK? It's on Front. Guys, I'm guaranteed you have way too much money. You are sitting with a high percentage of your portfolio sitting in those coins. 15% at minimal or maximum, sorry, needs to be sitting in these coins, and they need time. Remember, these coins time was 2 months ago or a month ago when everything was going berserk. Now it's shifted. Now it's the major alt. So these are slowing down. Except Win, obviously Win, we had a massive push, but there we are finally starting to get that retracement from Win, which is good. So it looks like we're going to get some new entries in the next week or two, which is good. But yeah, I got VTHO, I got TVK, I got Front, I have Koti, Strongcoin. Koti can also be in the major. I know there's a lot of favorites of Koti, so this is just the way I'm structuring mine. I got Win, I got Pundi X. I know for a lot of guys that have entered the Pundi trade, you'll see your Pundis being deducted from your Binance because they're doing that swap to the new coin where they're deducting, I think, well, they're dividing by 1,000 times. So we're going to have a higher valued coin and less coins, which is actually better, guys. It will give us I'd probably say, because I know people harp a lot on these, but I think it's going to give us a lot of growth, especially going forward. So I'm glad they're burning these coins and they're actually giving us a higher value coin, especially where the market cap is sitting. So Pundi is looking really good. I think it's between now and the 9th that everyone should be receiving their Pundi coins. Let's have a look. It usually creates a lot of hype. So let's see where that gets us. We got Rev. We got T-Fuel, we got Chili's, and we got Lit. So these are all the main coins that we've been having a look at. But now it's structured, guys. Now you guys know the percentages of your portfolios that we should be looking at these coins. So now why have I shown you all of these coins and all of that? Because firstly, we have the main portfolio, your HODL portfolio, where everything's sitting. Then we have the trading portfolio. Now remember, this trading portfolio, I don't hate it, I don't date it, I trade it. So this is not my love section. This means if the coin is showing me it's a good buying opportunity, I'm buying that coin. Why? Because I want to make money. And once I make that money, I now know what to do with that money. So I can take that money and go buy more Win, and go buy more Koti, and go buy more these. Doesn't mean that I need to now hold that other coin for as long as it takes. Now that trading portfolio is there clearly to make money, so that you can then take those profits and come diversify them and buy the rest of the coins. Now, if we have, what is nice with this is if any of the coins that I do give the signals out to are already part of your HODL portfolio, that makes it awesome. Because, for example, if I gave, let's say, Chainlink now, and I gave you guys the Chainlink trade, and Chainlink now pumps up 60%, and I say, okay, guys, I'm taking my initial capital out, and the remaining that's in there, I'm going to leave for the long run. Now, what you do with that now is if Chainlink's a part of your major alt section, you now sell off what you put in, you take that Chainlink, and you either put it in your sub account or anywhere where it's separate, where your HODL portfolio is sitting, or your wallet, and now you take those coins and you send them straight in. Now, the difference is if I give another coin that's not a part of your structure, you're going to take your initial capital out. You could actually sell the position, trading portfolio to make the money straight away and to take it. We are using it as a tool. Remember, the market is designed to give you the money and take it away from you. So let's not fall in love to say that this coin can go more. We need to learn that we need to be happy with the gains that we have made. So if I've made my 60%, I pull it out because it's not a part of my HODL portfolio. So it's not actually part of one of my love coins, the coins that I really care for. So why am I actually holding it? I'm actually setting goals that when it hits 50 or 60%, let's take it out. Let's buy the coins that I want to hold, your Uni, your Chainlink, all of these coins. And now I have money for the next trade again. So what we are sort of doing is we are finally structuring everything in the way it should be. Now, what I do want to do today, and definitely if you have seen the slides and all of that, guys, start building your structures at home. Start building all of this. The coins will differ, but the structure will work. It will give you something on understanding on what to do and percentages on where we should be trading. Now, if I jump, let me just go see where my major, there we go. Okay, so if I have a look, where is the coin? So what I'm going to do for you guys now is we are going to start running this together. So we have now created this Binance account, which we are going to start trading live with you guys. And as you can see, we have funded this account with $90,000 is what we funded this account with. Now, when I start giving these trades to you guys, I'm going to start putting in percentages of my portfolio or of this portfolio, you're going to see the amounts that I'm buying. When some coins are not working and they're slowing down, you're going to see how I eliminate that. Remember, I'm using this to make money. I'm not using it to fall in love with the coin. So if the coin's not making me money, I'm going to move to the next one. We are sort of, we need to shift. We can't just sit here and be on this sort of thing. So what I've done now, and what the Banter team has done, they've created this account for us. The exciting part, the part that I do want to say with this account, guys, is I'm going to trade this full with all the coins we give every day, and the gains that we make on this account, we are going to be giving back to the public. We are going to be giving back to you guys. So every week, we're going to work on that, and we're going to see. So please hit that like, hit the subscribe button, show some love, because we are here to give you guys everything every day. We want to support you. We want to help you wherever we can, and we want to educate you every day. So hit those likes, please. So what we're going to look at doing today is I just want to get that trade that I wanted to give to you guys. Let me just see which one it is. If not, I'll quickly create one. Okay, so I'm going to basically use, let's go to major alts, and then let's go to Theta. Okay, so I'm going to use Theta as the example today. And what I am going to do here for you guys as well is I'm going to do a quick demonstration of a stop loss for you guys, and the two sort of bars, how to buy these things when I give these signals to you as well. I think it's important for us to get on a stable base before we continue this big journey together and we get into this run. So what I am going to do is I'm going to have the bar zone in there, which is good. And what I do for you guys is I give you a stop loss zone. So let's mark that up. There we go. Okay, so what I do now is I give us a stop loss zone, I give you a bar zone, I give that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go buy Theta now in this account. Okay, so I'm going to now get some Theta so we can start joining the train that we are sitting in. Awesome. Okay, cool. So now I will go to the fiat. So I am going to use Binance. Remember, a lot of my signals do come with Binance or Kucoin. They do change the thing, but we don't go onto too many exchanges. It just becomes very difficult to have your money all over the place. So Binance has a lot of the coins. I see Bitcoin is starting to retrace a bit, so we'll go have a look at that shortly to see what's happening. It's actually nice if we can get some action live on the call so we can have a look. Okay, so we're going to go have a look at Theta as the example. Theta is one that I'm adding to the bags now, one that I'm buying in now. So remember that if we have entered the zone and we are entering the bar zone, there's two options. There's, okay, well, the first option is if we are in the bar zone, I'm going to start laddering in my bars. I'm going to start market executing my bars. Now remember, market executes, all that it is, it's the easiest way to get in and out of the market. You don't have the exact control of the price of the coin that you, the exact perfect price that it is right now, but it's usually, especially on higher volume coins, it's very close to where the price is. So we can see this price is fluctuating on the left here. This is the quickest way to get in and out of the market. So what it gives me is time. It gets me in and out quickly. The only thing it doesn't give me is the exact price that I want at that specific level, but it does get me pretty close. So what I'm doing now today is I'm going to be buying $5,000 of this account so long, just to see where we set. Remember, when we get to these zones, we ladder in, and then I have these nice resistance lines, which are confirmation bars, and that's where I ladder some more in. And we're going to catch that as we start going. So I'm going to buy, let's go put in there quickly. Let's buy $5,000 worth of Theta. Awesome. So I currently just bought 437 Thetas, which is great. Now, the second option that happens when I do give you guys these bar signals is if I had to give you another bar signal that's sitting down, let's say in that area over there. This is where the limit buy comes in, and it helps us very much, because what limit buy is limit is there to, you don't have control of the time, but you have control of the price. So remember, market is the quickest way to get in and out. So you've got time, check, but you don't have control of the exact price. Limit is you don't have control of the price, but you are able to set an order in the order book that if it gets to a specific price that you want to buy it at, make that active. And if there's a seller at that point where you want to buy, your order will go through. So when I give you projected sort of signals to say that we're going to come down here. So let's say I'm saying now that Theta is going to come to 9.84. sort of sense, somewhere in that region. Okay, I can now go there and set that 9.84 I see the thing doesn't work, 9,84. And you can see now what I've done is I've set the range that I want to get it in. I could say I want to buy another $5,000 over there, which will buy me 508 theta. So you can see just that drop, how much more theta we get. And I can set that limit order. Now I haven't received my coins yet, but if I go down, it's created the order in the order book. So if the price goes down to that region and there's a seller at that point, it will buy me in, and I'm getting at that range. So remember, the two signals I'm going to give you is either if we're already in the buy zone, we can market execute, or we have a resistance trend line. So if we're breaking a resistance and it's time to get in now, to sit there and try get the exact amount with the limit order, you're going to miss it at times. So that's when we market execute in. It gets us in quickly, and then we go from there. But if it's projected where I'm saying it needs another day or two, it's going to come lower, then that's when you can get your orders ready in, get your limit orders in, and then we can go from there. So that was a quick overview on that. Now, the main thing, the last thing that I want to show is on this theta over here that we have, I'm also going to give you stop loss ranges. Now, we've noticed that on my Twitter and that I give you a range and not just a dead stop loss line. That's because with a stop loss, you get a stop and you got a limit. And what they do for that is sometimes there's such a big whale or such a big influence in the market that comes and dumps a whole bunch of coins. And the problem with this system is if the price doesn't hit that exact number that you put as a stop loss, I can actually go straight through it and not take your stop loss out at all. So remember, the stop loss is there to protect you. It's there to put in case the decision that you made in the market goes wrong. So if I'm predicting the market's bullish, I'm predicting it's going upwards, I'm making sure that I got a stop loss in the range to say that if it doesn't go up in bullish and it turns at any points, make sure that I don't lose too much capital. But remember, we also put stop losses in the right key areas that if we are going to stop out, it needs to be beneficial for me. I need to be able to buy more coins, at least at the lower sort of rates than where we are. So it needs to be, otherwise if I held it, it would have been just fine. So what we do with a stop loss is when I give you a range, I will give you a range. Let me just set it up as there. Cool. So I'll give you the range to say that 10.77 and 10.55 is our stop loss for theta. Now it's easy for you. Remember, you need to own the coin first. So once you have bought the coin and you own the coin now I can come set my stop loss. So between the stop and the limit is it gives you an actual range. So if you just had one stop loss, it can shoot straight through for whales there. Now, if you put a stop and a limit, it gives you a sort of range to say that in between this price, if we drop through it, it doesn't hit that first line, please make sure that it sells me out anywhere between this price range so that it makes sure that you actually get out of the market and your coins do sell at that level. So what I do is that's why I give you the range. I give you a top and the bottom. And the easy way to implement this is the top one that I give you, which is 10.77, will be the top one at this zone over here, 10.77. And the bottom one that I've given in that zone is 10.55. If I go have a look, 10.55. And all that's going to do for me is just make sure that if it does drop quickly, I'm giving it a range. Doesn't mean that it's going to sell it at the lower value, but it's going to sell you anywhere between those two values over there. So it's important to know that's why I give you a range and not just a straight line. And now what I can do, and I know the reason I'm doing this, I know there's a lot of guys that don't understand stop losses, and it's so important that we do understand the stop loss. Now I have that in place. There's my theta, and I can now set that stop limit. It then tells me if the price drops below 10.77 in an order placed, the price of 10.55, it just basically explaining that it will sell in that region. So you can see if I set that now, you can see it's created my order there as well. Now the difference between a stop limit and a limit is the limit order already goes into the books. It's already sitting here in the books. A stop limit only gets activated when it triggers that first price, which was the 10.77 is when it gets activated. So no one can see that order in the order book. It gets activated when it hits that activating sort of rate. So now we know how to buy. Now we know how to sell. Now it's time for us to start taking these trends, start understanding. So use this now to structure your life, to start structuring your portfolio and what we're looking at. Everyone's coins are going to try, they're going to sort of change. The main thing is to have the structure on how to take things. When I make profits, what do I do with them? You need to be building your HODL portfolio. You need to be building that everything. And all that we are trading on a daily basis and a weekly basis is a sort of, we're using it as a tool. We're using some money to make some new coins, to make some new thing for us so that we can keep filling that HODL portfolio. Because my opinion, the less we trade in the market is the better. And the more we stop selling these coins, we actually make a ton more of the money. The only time is obviously once all these coins have done thousands of percents, then we can have a look. You know what? It's time. I'm happy. So remember, your trading account, you don't love the coin. It is there for you to make the money, take the money off the table, and go buy the coins that you do love. So it's just a tool for us to use. So yeah, so closing off, guys, we've gone through the HODL portfolio, we've gone through the trading portfolio. So remember, my HODL is 65%, my trading is 35%. I now have a structure on how to structure everything. And I just want to have a look here quick. I did have a coin for us to be trading, and one that I want to be buying more. I just want to see if it is in this zone. Others might have changed. Okay, but yeah, guys. So that portfolio, and just make sure I'm going to show it you again quickly. If you want, take a quick picture so that you do have it in the zone. These are the coins that I'm thinking are going to explode in this next run, especially and this is a 35% part of my portfolio. We then have the micro alts. These ones I really think small amounts of money, blow it up. And then obviously we've got our 50%, which is sitting in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So guys, Ran is away. He will be back tomorrow. Today was very new for me, a new start for everything. The nerves are starting to settle, but you know what? We're building a powerful community between all of us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Remember the banter bags. Remember the goal that we are trying to form out of this whole journey together is for us to retire at the end of the year. So I see the market starting to retrace. So I'm sort of getting a sense that it's not time to just put a trade out there just yet. Let's see. I'd rather look at tomorrow. I see it is Chiliz and Lit, which are looking pretty good, but I think let's give a little bit of time on this market. Let me recoup, let me rebuild everything, and tomorrow we will get back with new trades. So have a great one, everyone, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.